Okay, this is going to be the second part of the set-driven key where we actually connect the cluster to the fins or the stabilizers that we just made. All right, I have my ship now connected all up. So when I move it up and down, you can see the fins go in and out. What I'd like to do now is connect the fins to these clusters. So let's go to the position that we want to start at. So we'll go to, let's say, this start position here. Select the fin. Now I'm selecting the fin because it's being animated by this. So I really can't change this number. See how it turned orange? That means it's being animated or controlled by something else. So since it's being controlled by this guy here, I'm going to move it up and down to access this piece's rotation. So we'll go back up here to Animate, Set Driven Key, open up the box. All right, and that's going to be our driven. So it's already there. And then our driver, I'm sorry, the stabilizer is the driver. Right? That little guy is the driver. And what it's going to be driven by is this little cluster. So try to get that little C right there. That's the driver, or the driven. All right, so one more time. This little fin right here, that's the driver. And the little C, the cluster, that's the driven. And we're going to connect the rotation of the fins Y to the clusters scale and X, Y, Z. All right, so when it's in, it looks like this. That's great. We'll key it. And I'm going to move this out of the way here. I'm going to grab my pod body and move it up to where it's, this little guy is open all the way. So I'll select it again. And now we're going to go in here and scale our cluster to where we get kind of the look that we want. We're going to scale it in just so we tighten it up a little bit. And we're going to hit key. So this was kind of unusual. I'll do it again on the other side. Let me show you what we end up with. So let's select the pod. I'm going to press up to get both pieces. And you can see where we get this secondary animation where we don't hear. So you can make this very elaborate. You can you know, make flaps that come in over the engine. So I'll do it again on this side. I'm going to select this piece, and we'll go to Set Driven Key, option box, and this is going to be the driver. And the driven is going to be that little cluster right there. So we're going to connect the rotate Y to the, and I'm just clicking and dragging to get all three of these, X, Y, and Z. So when it's in like this, that actually looks pretty good. We'll key it. And then we're going to pull out the fin like so. And now we're going to actually scale down our engine just slightly, and we'll key that. So let's take a look at our handiwork here. Get my move tool. Great. Just this little bit is going to add so much to our animation. And what I like to do is I like to make each side just slightly different. That's why I like to do each one by itself, because I want them to act a little bit differently. I don't want them to act like just exact duplicates. Okay, so that's part 2 of the set-driven key, connecting the clusters to the set-driven key.